A mud volcano or mud dome is a landform created by the eruption of mud or slurries, water and gases. Several geological processes may cause the formation of mud volcanoes. Mud volcanoes are not true igneous volcanoes as they do not produce lava and are not necessarily driven by magmatic activity. Mud volcanoes may range in size from merely 1 or 2 meters high and 1 or 2 meters wide to 700 meters high and 10 kilometers wide. Smaller mud exudations are sometimes referred to as mudpots. The mud produced by mud volcanoes is mostly formed as hot water, which has been heated deep below the Earth's surface, begins to mix and blend with subterranean mineral deposits, thus creating the mud slurry exudate. This material is then forced upwards through a geological fault or fissure due to local subterranean pressure imbalances. Mud volcanoes are associated with subduction zones, and about 1100 have been identified on or near land. The temperature of any given active mud volcano generally remains fairly steady and is much lower than the typical temperatures found in igneous volcanoes. Mud volcano temperatures can range from near 100 degrees Celsius to occasionally 2 degrees Celsius, some being used as popular mud baths. About 86% of the gas released from these structures is methane, with much less carbon dioxide and nitrogen emitted. Ejected materials are most often a slurry of fine solids suspended in water that may contain a mixture of salts, acids and various hydrocarbons. Possible mud volcanoes have been identified on Mars. A mud volcano may be the result of a piercement structure created by a pressurized mud diapir that breaches the Earth's surface or ocean bottom. Their temperatures may be as low as the freezing point of the ejected materials, particularly when venting is associated with the creation of hydrocarbon clathrate hydrate deposits. Mud volcanoes are often associated with petroleum deposits and tectonic subduction zones in orogenic belts. Hydrocarbon gases are often erupted. They are also often associated with lava volcanoes. In the case of such close proximity, mud volcanoes emit incombustible gases including helium, whereas lone mud volcanoes are more likely to emit methane. Approximately 1,100 mud volcanoes have been identified on land and in shallow water. It has been estimated that well over 10,000 may exist on continental slopes and abyssal plains. Most liquid and solid material is released during eruptions, but seeps occur during dormant periods. The mud is rich in halite. First-order estimates of mud volcano emissions have been made. Dozens of mud volcanoes can be found on the Taman Peninsula of Russia and the Kerch Peninsula of Crimea, along with the southwestern portion of Bulgaria near Rupert. In Italy, they are common in the northern front of the Apennines and in Sicily. On August 24, 2013, a mud volcano appeared in the center of the Via Caccia di Morto roundabout in Fiumicino near Rome. Mud volcanoes can be found in the Berca mud volcanoes near Berca in Buzău County, Romania, close to the Carpathian Mountains. They were declared a natural monument in 1924. Mud volcanism is a common phenomena in Indonesia, with dozens of structures present onshore and offshore. The Indonesian Lusi mud eruption is a hybrid mud volcano, driven by pressure from steam and gas from a nearby volcanic system, and from natural gas. Geochemical, petrography and geophysical results reveal that it is a sediment-hosted hydrothermal system, connected at depth with the neighboring Arjuno-Welirang volcanic complex. Drilling or an earthquake in the Parang subdistrict of East Java Province, Indonesia, may have resulted in the Sidoarjo mud flow on May 29, 2006. The mud covered about 440 hectares, 1,087 acres in the next decade. In March 2008, the scientists observed drops of up to 3 meters in one night. Most of the subsidence in the area around the volcano is more gradual, at around 1 millimeter per day. A study by a group of Indonesian geoscientists led by Bambang Istadi predicted the area affected by the mudflow over a 10-year period. More recent studies carried out in 2011 predict that the mud will flow for another 20 years, or even longer. Now named Lusi, a contraction of Lumpur Sidoarjo, where Lumpur is the Indonesian word for mud. The eruption represent an active hybrid system in the Suwa Depression in Lampung. Dozens of mud cones and mudpots varying in temperature are found. Many mud volcanoes exist on the shores of the Black Sea and Caspian Sea. Tectonic forces and large sedimentary deposits around the latter have created several fields of mud. Volcanoes, many of them emitting methane and other hydrocarbons. Features over 200 meters high occur in Azerbaijan, with large eruptions sometimes producing flames of similar scale. There are mud volcanoes in Georgia, such as the one at Akhtala. Iran and Pakistan possess mud volcanoes in the Makran range of mountains in the south of the two countries. A large mud volcano is located in Balochi,